Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Driven. I'm your host, Zenith, and today I have another familiar face on the podcast. My another co-host from the Ball Over the Top podcast,
I appreciate the invite.
Carl Batista da Silva. I've never said his name out loud this way. I don't
Oh,
think so.
oh,
This is
interesting.
the
Because
first
JB's
time.
always the one that's doing it. It's always
Yeah.
Jaden. Jaden's just like,
Yeah.
it's your boy, JB, Z, and then Kyle Batista de Silva. I'm like, why do I have to have the full name?
So let's start with something simple.
Yeah,
Tell me about your Humber experience so far.
my Humber experience. So, as you know, I am a mature student. For viewers out there, I am in my 30s, early 30s. Honestly, I didn't know if I was gonna go to school again. When I graduated in 2011, oh my god, it sounds so long ago when I say it out loud. When I graduated in 2011, I had two options. And this kind of ties into one of the questions you'll probably ask me later. But I had two offers for college. I had the sport management program here at Humber, and I had another offer at George Brown College downtown, St. James campus, for the American Sign Language and Deaf Studies program.
Mm-hmm.
So during the time that I was finishing high school, I was still like I'm always been into sports. Sports has been my thing, and it's been like the thing I breathe and live off of. And I've always and like I did my co-op in high school because in grade 12 you have to do co-op at the your
Mm-hmm.
final year to kind of figure out like, okay, what do you want to go to school for? Like for post-secondary, you want to kind of guide yourself into the career that you want to do. And I've always worked with kids who have special needs.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD, and I also have multiple learning disabilities. So I actually did it at my old elementary school called St. Rita Elementary School. Shout out St. Rita Rock. And I actually worked with the kids who actually, autism, ADHD, learning disabilities, and other forms of learning disabilities and stuff like that, who were to come to the room and, need homework help, test help, assignment help, or even when it came to, let's say, going out to recess, some of them were unfortunately bullied. Don't bully. Bullying is not fun. I was a victim of bullying growing up most of my life, but I digress. And just I found a lot of passion and joy into that, and just seeing like kids that kind of I could relate to in terms of how I struggled growing up as a kid and learning, and you know it's it really brings you like a different sense of joy seeing the kid that again relates to you in a way and how you grew up in terms of learning and all that, and it really opened my eyes like this is what I want to do. And there was this one kid who was not deaf but hard of hearing, but he kind of taught me a bit of sign language growing into the co-op session. So when I had those two offers, I told myself, I was like, you know what, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm supposed to be helping people. And I accepted the program for American Sign Language and Deaf Studies in George Brown, and I only it was a 2-year program before you had to move on to either the deaf and blind intervener program, or you had to move on to the ASL interpreter program, which would be in Gallaudet University.
Hmm.
I forget where it is, but that's besides the point. But I put myself right after high school into that situation of college, and I'll be honest, I'll take the accountability. I didn't have the greatest of friends. So at the time I didn't really take school seriously. Like I completed my first year, made it to my second, and then I kind of just started to straggle behind in terms of, I wanted to party, I wanted to, hang out and do other things. I didn't want to do homework. I didn't want to focus on my career. And um it really got me to a point in my life where I told myself like, okay, this is not for me anymore. And I almost fell out of love with school.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been one to like be like studious and like love school, but like at the time that I was there, I was like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. This is like what I'm destined to do. This is fate. And I realized after that time that it just wasn't for me, and I unfortunately dropped out after half. I think it was a year and a half into the program, didn't complete it. I do have a bit of like knowledge of still sign language. I'm kind of rusty with it, but I ended up just going into getting my security license after and just
Mm-hmm.
becoming just, working from job to job, 9 to 5, just, here and there. And honestly, if it weren't for my partner, she really is someone that really opened my eyes in terms of, you are a lot more than what you think you are. Cause especially in this time with a lot of mental health issues, a lot of people, uh, especially myself, have negative mindsets. Like I sometimes wake up every morning and I'm just looking at myself and I'm just like, I'm like, I already ruined my, I ruined my own day. Like in terms of, I'll tell myself, oh, like, I haven't even started the day or I haven't even started a task. I'm like, oh, you're not going to do it. Or you're not going to do it to the full, like, your full capability, or um, don't even try to apply for that job. They're not going to take you,
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. And it just like, she really like pushed a positive mindset into me that like, you just got to have a better, you got to think more positively, and you
Mm-hmm.
can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
And also having just like friends, like, good friends like you, yourself, Jaden, the rest of the guys from the program, just believing in someone like me, especially someone older. When you guys are when you guys are younger than me, and you guys are have giving me such inspiration just to keep pushing and to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't thank you guys enough. Like I honestly, it's as crazy as it might sound.
It's okay. I have another question coming where you can praise us. So say the praise for the
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah, I might have just been rambling on for too long,
No,
but
that's all right. Keep going.
yeah, so I again, my partner told me like, why don't you go back to school?
Mm-hmm.
See if maybe that'll give you kind of another reason to figure out what you want to do with your career. And I've been, and part of what I do now, I work for MLSE. So like I don't work on more. I work within sports, but not more managing or operations of sports or stuff. I'm more on the security and safety side.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, maybe I should actually apply for the sport management as a mature student, see where it goes, and see if take my passion for sport, for football, for basketball, for all these other sports, and see if I can
Mm-hmm.
actually apply this knowledge to the real world
Mm-hmm.
and also my own life. And I got accepted, and probably been the best leap of faith I've ever taken for myself. And I feel I've developed and matured as a person into something a lot different than what I would have. Like if you told me 10 years ago like I'd be here, I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
believe you.
But I guess we all have those moments. Like I've had my moments. Like
Yeah.
I've done my master's in animation, but like I never really got into
Really?
that
I
industry.
didn't know
I
that.
didn't. I never told you guys.
You were no, you were my first friend here when I started here, and I'm so thankful for you. I know you said you have another question for it, but I'm so thankful for you because I remember what were we in Rosemary's class,
Yeah.
and it was I think our first project for sport programming, and we decided to be partners, and it just the rest is history. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally proud of the person that I have met today. What you've done with this podcast, ball over the top, everything. It's just like I have no words.
It's okay.
You
No
are
worries.
you
You
are
don't have to.
you are a
It's
wonderful
it's it's the
person,
same. It's very mutual, to be honest.
and
Like
I
I'm pretty sure Jaden gave me an idea. He's like, yeah, we should do like an episode where like you're on that seat and like me and Kyle are doing your interview
oh, we have to.
for a
Oh,
driven
100%.
for a
That
driven
should be the
episode.
next.
But I would my point is like my story would look very similar to you, and that was kind of I was saying like I never got to really do like what I was really interested in, like animations and stuff, because of whatever reason, like COVID happened when I came
Yeah,
to Canada and
COVID
whatever.
really killed everything.
Yeah, but it's like we all had those moments. So like you see things from a different lens from like the people around you, like especially like the people right now you're in class with, like most of them are like around like 18 to 20 years of age, or like they're very young, they're still figuring out like what they need to do in
They have
life.
so much time.
Yeah.
For any of you
So
guys that are out here that are watching, and if you guys are in our program and even in our class or even close to us and you watch this episode, I promise you, if you ever feel that moment where you're like, "Oh my god, I'm running out of time," you don't even think that. I'm at this age, I took this leap of faith to come back to school to figure out my career. There are people that even in my when I was taking American Sign Language, I actually had one person in my course. I walked into class and I was like, "You're the professor, right?" She goes, "No, I'm a student."
Mm.
She was 60 years old.
Yeah.
60 years old.
Yeah.
It's never too late to do what you want to do. Just keep grinding, keep focused, and just keep pushing. That's it.
With all that you kind of been through, like your setbacks and everything, you already described that this is like a really good uh, leap of faith you took, and like you're really enjoying your time here. What has changed from your mindset perspective? Like, how do you look at sports in general right now, and how do you look at the opportunities that come for you every
You
day?
have to create your own. I was always that person that thought that, oh, if you just, do this, do that, that things will just come to you. No,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta like most of the time, if you're lucky, it does come with luck in life, but you have to create your own opportunities. So I've been again with my job, I'm very fortunate that I'm surrounded by a lot of people that are in the sport industry that
Mm-hmm.
I do develop a lot of connections with. Like yesterday, at my job, I was able to talk with one of the employees from the actual NBA,
Mm-hmm.
and was asking, introduced myself, was talking to her, and she just explaining, if they had any sort of summer opportunities in terms of internships, or if they do internships in terms for operations or event management or event operations. And she basically gave me a lot of advice about, what I should do and how to get myself out there, and actually introduced me to the head of Canada basketball too. So
That's awesome.
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
So like just getting my name out there and connecting on LinkedIn and creating those connections, just it gives the people an opportunity not only just to look at you as like, okay, this person's interested, but they look at you because they work with you on a, let's say, a shiftly basis or a
Mm-hmm.
nightly basis, where they're like, okay, so this person introduced themselves. Let me see what they're capable of. And if you work hard enough and you go above and beyond and go that extra mile, they'll notice that. People, there's a thing that there's a quote kind of, I don't know if like the full like exact verbatim quote, but basically I seen this person kind of say like, if you're gonna do something, do it because you have to. Not like, don't do it because someone asked you. Don't do it
Mm-hmm.
because it needs to be done. Just do it because at the end of the day, someone will see it. Someone might, you could be, I don't know, someone knocks. Let's just say someone knocks over a garbage can, and just, you'll see people just walk by. They're like, "That's not my problem. That's not my issue." If you
Mm-hmm.
clean that up, a lot of people will be like, "Well, like that's not your problem. It doesn't matter. It has to be done. It
Mm-hmm.
has to, you got to do it because if you don't do it, someone else is gonna have to do it, or no one's gonna do it." But you never know. That one person's gonna see you doing that, and they're like, "Wow, this person went above and beyond." And it's not their mess. They didn't do that,
Mm-hmm.
but they're cleaning it up.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with anything else. If you do your job or whatever your task is supposed to do, and you do above and beyond, someone will take notice.
Mm-hmm.
And again, with a little bit of luck, you'll get that opportunity where someone will say, "Hey, listen, I've been noticing what you've been doing. I notice that you've been working hard, and I want to give you this opportunity to, to expand on that, or we want to put you in somewhere where, your skills can be utilized."
Mm-hmm.
And it really resonated with me a lot because again, I went through a period of my 20s where I wouldn't say I can't because I really developed a more positive mindset. I wouldn't say I had really terrible friends, but I had a group of friends that, we were in a stage of just let's just party, have fun, drink, go out,
Mm-hmm.
girls, whatever the case may be. And I got sucked into a life where I didn't think I thought, okay, like no matter what, I have time. Like I can do all this. And then eventually when I feel like waking up and just, getting my life together, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still have time, just like I was saying earlier, everyone has time, but like don't waste like having experiences and wasting time on like foolishness is two completely different
Different
things. So
things.
like
Yeah.
you got to look at it just as you have to like if you can enjoy the moment, but don't lose yourself in the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
let's kind of move on to podcast. First
Yes.
of all, have you ever in your life thought that you'd be doing one?
Um, I've thought about it. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts. A lot of my times, my commute to work, because it's
Mhm.
about depending on because I work usually in the evenings, is usually about an hour, sometimes 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. So I usually just throw on a podcast. I usually listen to either true crime podcasts, or I listen to like some comedy podcasts. Like I'll give you some examples. So like some true crime podcasts I listen to, like my friend really put me on it, was called Mr. Ballin.
Mhm.
Great, great. Like I recommend that to anybody, even yourself. If you like true crime, listen to Mr. Ballin. He does a lot of YouTube. He's very famous. Just wonderful. I can listen to that and it just keeps me in the zone, kind of thing.
Mhm.
I listen to Joe Rogan. I only listen to Joe Rogan in terms of like the people, like if he's talking to like certain athletes,
Mhm.
certain comedians
Yeah.
that I like, I'll listen to. But
He
most of the time,
brings he brings like cool people. Like yeah.
exactly.
He brings like scientists and stuff on the
Yes.
show. Yeah.
So there was one episode I actually listened to not too long ago, and it was an ex CIA agent named I think it's Jonathan Kyriakou, and he was a Greek ex CIA agent, and he basically was a part and exposed the United States government for their torture program. And I listened to this, and it was like a 3 hour podcast. And I'm telling you, it was probably one of the greatest things I've ever heard, because just like you learn, like when he brings those people, like the scientists and stuff like that, you
Mhm.
learn so much, because it's
Mhm.
like you're so used to seeing the news and whatever's
Yeah.
happening in the world and your Twitter and your news feed, and like you get bits and pieces of like certain stories, but you
Mhm.
don't get sometimes like the real nitty gritty stuff. And I
Yeah.
was listening, I was like, oh my god, like this actually this person lived
It
through this
is.
and explained it with
Yeah.
no problems
And
whatsoever.
sometimes it's pretty cool. Like I forget that I keep forgetting the name of the guy like with the curly hair who like pops up everywhere. Like he does all the science stuff.
Oh,
I think you know what I'm who I'm talking about
I know who
probably.
you're talking about, and
But
it's gonna bother me.
but like sometimes we forget like with all the stuff we learned in school, like we don't really apply to it in our daily life, right?
The
And the
Pythagorean theorem:
not
a
really that,
squared
but like
plus b
sometimes
squared
it's like
equals
nice
c
to
squared.
because I do that too. Like I like to read books and stuff, but like I loved watching like National Geography and stuff because like it's
Yeah.
like a cool stuff. Like it
Oh,
keeps
of
your mind
course.
away from like your daily life.
Oh,
Like
of
you
course.
also learn
Yeah.
about the nature and like
Absolutely.
it's just some fun
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm trying to challenge myself. I told myself this year as like my New Year's resolution. I said by the end of the year I should read about 5 to 10 books. Doesn't matter the book,
Hmm.
just to read it. Because I bought a Kindle over the summer and I read the Marcus Aurelius by what was it? Something I think it's like Temptations by Marcus Aurelius. I probably butchered that whole thing.
Hmm.
It was so
That's all
long ago. It's a really good
right.
book though. I think you would like
I'm
it.
very bad with names, so I'm not gonna blame you.
Let me see. Let me look at it quick. I can tell you exactly. It's really good.
While you're looking at it, I'm gonna move on to kind of
Yes.
next question.
Yes.
So, podcasting, you're doing it with like two co-hosts, which are kind of younger than you, maybe a little bit lesser football and basketball knowledge than you.
Yeah.
How do you kind of prepare for it, and how do you think that you have your involvement with us and with the podcast? Like how do you feel like it's very natural? Do you feel like, oh no, you have to kind of pay attention and you have to kind of like prepare for it? Like what's your experience with it?
Okay. First thing, the book is called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should give it a read. You'll really like it. I
Okay.
read it over the summer. It was a really good book. Um, honestly, I don't feel any superior to you guys or anything. I feel like you guys are on the same level as me, regardless of my age and how much I've consumed in terms of, obviously being alive longer, in terms of sport knowledge and what I've experienced over my life. But working with you guys keep me on. Jaden keeps me on my toes. Holy smokes! Like I'll be honest with you. One of your because I was reading over the questions, and one of your questions was, how do I look at like being so knowledgeable, and like how do I look? When did sport turn into something I just took as an analyze? I've been like that since like I was a child. Like you could ask my mom, you can ask my dad. whenever I used to go to school, I used to grab the Toronto Star from the front door and I
Mm.
used to pull out the sports section. And this is obviously, again, before phones and computers, and you'd open up and you'd have to, like, you don't get the stats like you do now, where I can just go on my phone and look up, okay, I can Siri, hey Siri, who scored many points last night, or
Mhm.
whatever the case.
Mhm.
Like, you had to go in the newspaper, and it was usually near the back of the sports section, and it would show you all the scores from yesterday's game, who scored, who assist, who got penalties, or whatever the case. And then you got standings. So, like, oh, whatever, here's who's winning the Premier League right now. Here's how, what do you call, who's the goal leaders, assist
Mhm.
leaders. You got all that
And not
information.
just that, you also get like win percentage and like
Yes,
you
you
get
got
like
all that
oh
information.
predictions like oh this team has a prediction
Yeah.
chance to win this
And
league
even,
and
yes, even like that's how I think back in the day, that's how they used to do like all the betting and stuff. Because,
mhm.
right, again, pro line and all those things back in the, like, now you don't, we obviously with how digital age has, but back then they would say, like what you're saying, the predictions, like you would look at
Mhm.
the paper and it'd be like, oh, next week's matches are this team versus this team versus this team, right there, whatever, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Oh, we have a 60%, we believe at the Toronto Star, 62% that this team's gonna beat this team, da 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 da, or this team's going to beat this team, or this team's going to score this many goals. Like, you got all your information there. And I used to get up like early morning for school, like to wait for the bus and have my breakfast, and I have the TV on, and shout out to the score. That was the greatest thing. Morning score is the great. I wish we still had that. It's like, it's so sad we don't have that anymore. But we used to have, used to throw it on. I'd have the newspaper in front of me. I'd have like my cereal or my toast or whatever the
Mhm.
case may be, and you'd be reading the. I'd be reading the newspaper, and there was a TV there, and the TV would be like, "Oh, last night's game, Penguins versus the Flyers, and da 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 da. This person's scored 2 goals. Oh, what a big goal or big shot or big hit!" Like,
Mhm.
you would see, basically, because, like, being so young back in the day, I'd go to bed 9, 10 o'clock, so I didn't get to see some of the later games, or I didn't get to watch the games on TV. So all those games that I wanted to catch up on, I'd only have to see it the
Mhm.
next morning.
True.
So I would say that, yeah, since I was a young kid, that's just how I've always been. Like, I obviously watch sport for sport, and obviously for fantasy reasons, and partial gambling reasons.
Guilty.
Guilty partial gambling reasons, but most of the time I watch it because I just enjoy it. Like, I'll watch two teams that I don't support, or two teams that you would think, like, why would you be watching that? Like, that's
Mhm.
boring. Just because it's the love of the
It
sport.
is. It
It's
is. I know
passion.
you're very knowledgeable about like other leagues like that. I even if I want to like I sometimes don't get a time to check it out or like just watch it. But like you have knowledge of
Yeah.
like Brazilian league, like
Yeah,
Italian
but
league,
but
like
you and
Portuguese
Jaden, though,
league,
when
and
you guys
everything.
come onto the podcast, like, we always obviously prepare ourselves with our information of what we're going to talk about
Mm-hmm.
in our topic. But then, like, I'll say something, and then Jaden won't even look at his computer and just pop out of nowhere with some, like, fact or some sort of stat, and I'm like, how did you know that? Did you memorize this? Did you, like, study
Yeah.
this? Like, there's, like, and even yourself, you've done the same thing. Like, when we were talking on our last episode of Ball Over the Top, make sure to watch and listen. You, like, you come out with a stat, or you come out with a fact, and I'm like, "Holy smokes, yeah?" Like, there's no way. Like, I can honestly say I've been falling off a lot with football, and I feel sad about it because I've been watching more basketball. I don't know what it is, but basketball is just, like, so
It
entertaining.
is fun to watch.
It is so
I was just I
entertaining.
did a interview with one of our
Yeah,
women's
I know, I
basketball
seen that.
team.
I
Yeah,
watched it.
Sarah.
It was
Yeah, like
great.
yeah, I was telling her the same thing. Is basketball is just so fun to watch. It's not like I guess every sport has its own thing. I would
Yeah.
say that attracts us.
Yeah.
And I know my love belongs to football, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like basketball is just so much. It's just continuous back and
Again,
forth.
yeah, with my
It's
job too. Like,
it's
yesterday,
awesome.
I was grateful. I was grateful enough to be in a position where I was closer to the court for the
Mm-hmm.
Raptors game, and just watching it up close. It's so breathtaking because these
Mm-hmm.
guys are so powerful. They're so agile. They're athletic. It's it's crazy.
Hmm.
Because like you watch it and you're just like you see the dunks, you see the passes, you see the
Yeah.
drive to the lane, you see the 3-pointers, you see the way that they play with the intensity, and it's like wow, like it's almost like you feel that energy.
Hmm.
And again, like basketball recently, and then I've been taking a lot into football too, like American football. But I don't know. I used to be like my brother. He's a Man United fan, so like usually on like the weekends or like during the week, I'll wake up
Mm.
and I'll see him watching the game, like whatever the case,
He
and
would
like
be very happy the team how's the team's doing currently. Like
yeah.
last 5 6 matches. He would be very
He's been
happy.
happy. He's been watching. Like sometimes there'll be some times where I'll be like sleeping in and like it's like on a weekend and he's watching the game and I'll wake up and right where like my room is, the room like the living room is above my room. So like I'll hear like the stamping on the floor or the what the fuck? Take the shot or what do you mean, ref? That's not a foul. What are you saying? And I'm like he's watching United. So
Mm. There you go.
and it's just it's yeah I feel like I need to get back into football more in terms of watching it. Like I do
You
watch
should go. You should sit with him. And every bad play, you should go like
or just take a
shit.
or you know those what are those like
So shit.
TikToks or what are those TikToks or shorts where they say take a shot for every time someone says a word. So every time he freaks out, I should just take a shot. I'd be drunk before even the first half would be done. It's so bad.
Well, anyways, let's move on.
Yes.
So like at Humber, it's very easy to get caught up in like many things at once. Like
You
you you
telling
you
me?
you you've described it, and then I'm guilty of it because like I like doing multiple and you know how many things
Oh
I'm
yeah, you're
doing.
you're that I give you so much
So,
respect and so much praise
but
because you do so much.
no, but it's not always good and it's not always bad. So like I try to be neutral. But I want to hear from you. Like how do you kind of manage all that? Firstly, and the second part of the question is like, have you really thought about where you're going or like what's in it for you in the future?
How I manage it very poorly. I'll be honest with you. No, it's tough. Like you again, you know what we go through this
Mm-hmm.
program, and it's not. It's just making sure you're on top of everything and trying to, you know, if you're not trying to finish assignments, you're trying to look for internships. If you're not trying to look for internships, you're trying to network and talk with others in the sport industry to get not only their knowledge and pick at their brain, but you're trying to see if maybe they can give you some insight on okay, where you can take your skills and opportunity. Like, you take your skills and take this opportunity or go to this opportunity. And then you're also trying to, participate in extracurriculars. So like if
Mm-hmm.
you want to join a sport or you want to watch a sport, like go watch the games that are here, the basketball games. I still got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing all the posts on the Humber Instagram. I need to actually just show up to a game and just watch because
Mm.
I've
They've
heard
been
good
doing
things.
really good. Like some of the sports have
Even
been doing really
volleyball.
volleyball too. Like
Yeah.
volleyball, basketball, golf. We've been doing pretty good for last few years. Like curling. Like we've
I,
Humber's
I I think
Humber's
I'm
been
gonna
doing
try out
pretty
for the
good,
golf
man.
team next year.
You
Well,
should.
this
You,
I think
you
it's in
should
August.
contact Sean.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Sean Tyler.
Shout out to or
Yeah,
one of
shout
our
out,
professors.
shout out, Sean Tyler. If you're watching this, you're the man. Yeah, no, I'm gonna talk to him. It's just again, like I've been playing golf only for 2 years, and like I'm not anywhere near a scratch golfer. And like I've seen these guys and the scores that they pull in. I'm like, dude, I'm like plus 15, plus 20. These guys are 2 under, 3 under. I'm like,
Mm,
you guys are scratch golfer. You guys are like, this is what you've been playing your whole life.
yeah.
But I did talk to Jaden and Aiden next year, and I have made and committed to a goal. I think I'm gonna try to do some. I'm gonna try to talk to some people to see what I can do and maybe see if it's like a volunteer kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either going to join that extramural team next year and like try out for it, or it's a big or. I might coach.
That's not a bad option.
I used to coach. I've coached, but when I was a lot younger, I had my coaching licenses. I think they're probably like super expired. But I coached No, it was U15 Mississauga rep soccer at the time, and we
Mm,
did pretty well. I was able to, hold tryouts. I was able to hold practices and stuff. I would have to obviously, recalibrate myself and get back into the swing of things
mhm,
and learning, what drills to work with and what works with now, because obviously times have changed from that long, like eons ago.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I was actually talking to Aiden about it, and he was like, yeah, he's like, honestly, if you don't make the team, we would love you to, like, I would love you to coach. I would love to
Mm,
learn from you. So
mhm.
that kind of, again, like in terms of inspiration from you guys in the program that are younger than me, it just really inspires me to do more. In terms of future and what I want to see for my future self, I just want to be successful. I want all my friends. I want you. I want Jaden. I want all these guys to be successful in whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
You could finish this program and end up taking on what you were saying. You got your master's in animation. You might end up just doing animation. You might just do this, and this is,
Probably not. Probably not.
you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
can
No,
just do
I get
this,
it.
and
I
then
get it.
boom, animation,
Yeah,
or like whatever the case, or
yeah.
it doesn't matter. But wherever everyone ends up, I just hope everyone's successful. I hope everyone reaches and attains the goals that they want. I obviously, want to be successful in my career. I want to have a family. I want to, be happy. I want, and I also, I think my biggest thing is I want to impact others like in a positive way, however that may be. Whether you learn something from me, you gain something from me, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you prosper, that's all that matters.
Mhm.
I want everybody at my table to eat, and that's it.
Just to finish with, do you have anything to say to my audience, to just people in general, from your experiences? From I know you said a lot, and this has
Yeah.
been like a philosophical episode, and
I'm
and I
sh-
really like it because I'm a very deep talk kind of guy. And like, if it was up to me, and this was like my house and my
Oh, of
studio,
course. We'd be here for
we would be
hours.
here for like 2-3 hours
Oh,
for sure,
100%.
just like the first time.
100%.
But yeah, but any messages you want to give out to for the younger generation? Because this podcast is mainly for the youth athletes and stuff. Even just for the athletes, like as a coach, as a coaching mind, do you have anything to say for the athletes?
Just don't give up. Don't don't let others I've grown up, you know, not being the most popular person, not being the most, desired person, and a lot of people push you down, they'll kick you down, they'll a lot of people will push you out of the way just because they want to personally, like, they want to get ahead. At the end of the day, always put yourself first.
Mm,
It's always good to be a people pleaser because I'm the same way. I love to make sure that everyone else is taken care of before myself, but always make sure that you care for yourself. Put yourself first. Don't obviously put others out of the way, or, like, put people down to get yourself
mm,
ahead, but just if you know what it takes to get ahead, just push yourself to do it. Don't give up in the slightest. You feel like if you wait, because again, like I said, there's days that I wake up and I'm just like, why am I here? Like, why am I, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to work. I just want to lay here in the warmth of my bed or whatever the case may be, and I just don't want to move, and I just want the world to pass me by, and then, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow will be a better day.
mm,
No, get up, push yourself, do it. I'm telling you, I think this is one thing. It's gonna sound so, like, silly, but they always say if you get up, I forget what the statistic is, but if you get up and you make your bed, you've
mm.
already conquered half your
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
That I've learned to do that, and even if I've done that and then just done like menial, like, just, everyday things, like do your laundry, do the dishes,
Mm,
cook dinner for the family, whatever the case may be, it motivates you. It really, because you're waking up, you're all like foggy, you're not, like, you're rested, but you're like, oh, I'm tired. I wish I could sleep another half hour or an
mm,
hour. But just get up, make your bed, even if it's just tossing your covers over your pillow, not like neatly folding your
mm.
sheets. Just do it. Get up, and I promise you, your day will be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what else to say. I
no, I
appreciate
think
you
yeah,
having me on the podcast.
oh no, I've
I
been planned. I like we've talked about this for a long
For
time,
months.
and then you got sick. That was That was a sad time. That was a sad time.
I
And
was
yeah, you guys can blame
so
him
mad.
for not doing the ball over the top
Oh,
podcast
that was
episodes.
so
No, I'm just kidding.
bad.
But
I
yeah, no, we love
know.
you. But
That was
yeah, at
so
the
bad. I
same
remember. I remember that because you were like, "Okay, are we doing ball over the top?" I'm like, guys, I'm like dying right now. I'm like,
so no, this was really fun, and thank you, B. Thank you for being
don't thank me.
here.
Thank you. I would do this for you 10 times over. You name it. You need anything.
Yeah.
You can ask me.
Yeah.
You don't thank me. I'm
Yeah,
thankful that I'm
one
here.
day I'm gonna have both Jaden and Kyle here, and then we're gonna do a 1-on-2 episode and see.
Oh, we're
see
gonna
how that
we're
one
gonna
goes.
question the fuck out of you. We're gonna ask you everything. We're gonna nitpick every single detail. Oh my god, every single detail out of you. I want to know everything. Like again, like we've been friends since the start of the program. Really good friends.
Mhm.
I can honestly say you're one of my closest and best friends. You're one of my
I'm
closest
glad.
and best
I'm
friends.
glad.
Cause I still remember I walked into that class again, like talking about like why I made that leap of faith. Like I walked into that first class, and I was like, I could see all the kids around. I'm like, fuck, these kids are just out of high school. They don't know they're just waking up first day. 6 a.m. come to class. They're gonna see like what's going on. I've done this already. And then I sat behind you, and we were talking, and then we were all listening to Rosemary talk about sport programming, and then we ended up getting our first assignment. We did it together, and I remember that, and it was great. It was fucking wonderful, and I am grateful for you. I am grateful for this program, for how it's connected me to a lot of people, and not only that, but it's really even with Atlanta's program.
And
'Cause
the first year was like great.
Oh, it was
first year was
wonderful.
great. I enjoyed it.
Oh, it
Every
was
moment of
every
that, so,
moment of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to
It was
Ashwin too.
awesome.
Shout out to Ashwin for
Shout out to Humber. Also sponsor me.
Yeah.
Because I've been mentioning Humber a lot.
Humber presents Driven. That would be sick.
That was sick.
That would be really
That'd be
cool.
sick.
Yo, Humber,
That'd be
seriously,
sick.
if you guys are watching or anybody who's on the marketing team or whatever, I'm telling you, he's the real deal. He's working his butt off. He's getting all your athletes on the podcast. He got one of your volleyball players, basketball players. Who else did you get? Didn't you get
A Muay Thai guy, but
yeah,
he is a Humber student.
That's what
He's
I'm
in
saying.
my class.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like you're getting students, you're getting involved. So you're putting yourself out there. There's no reason that they shouldn't like think of it. They could use that though. That not only would benefit you, but benefit them because you are promoting their athletes.
Yeah. You heard it here, folks. Thank you everyone for listening and watching, and
Make sure to listen. Make sure to
Yeah.
follow, subscribe,
stay
whatever
tuned for
it is.
more episodes of Driven and Ball Over the Top podcast, which is coming out soon.
We're driving out.
That's actually a good one.